Hi and welcome everybody. It's Ruth here at artfulstampin.co.uk. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You can visit my blog for more inspiration. It's artfulstampin.co.uk, and you can follow me on Pinterest, Facebook. Just look up Artful Stampin, or if you're an Instagram user, do follow me on there too. And of course, if you want to be notified of further videos, please do hit that subscribe button. It's great to be with you this afternoon. I was having a chat to one of my customers this morning, and she was talking about the Stampin' Blends and trying to understand them, how they work and so on. So I thought, oh, I'll pop on this afternoon and do a quick little tutorial. I've used them occasionally in my videos, but I don't think I've done maybe many videos looking at them specifically and looking at their properties, their benefits, features and benefits rather. So I thought it would be nice to come on and do that today. Hi Kay. Oh, you just sat down in the garden, Jenny. Great timing. Hi Gina, April, Melanie, Margaret, Martina, Janice. Great. Okay, so there's one person that I'm kind of waiting. Well, I won't wait. Hopefully she'll turn up and that she can watch this on the replay if she doesn't see that I'm live now. So I've already gone ahead and stamped a couple of images. I've used the great big beautiful Celebrate Sunflower, this one here, and I've stamped in smoky slate and then stamped off. So this is second generation and this is third generation. You might not be able to see that. And I've stamped some butterflies as well, just to kind of get you going. Hi Liz, great to see you as well. Hi Wendy. Yes, having a good day so far. I've been bagging up catalogues to send out to people. So yeah, they're going to be making their way out soon. Okay, so obvious colour choice to start off with is the yellows. So we've got dark Daffodil Delight here, and should have light Daffodil Delight somewhere. I've got 3 of these. Now this is where I figure out which one is the most recent one. This is one here. Right, so this is light Daffodil Delight. I may not colour everything in. I just want to get started and just show you how to do some of the blending with these markers. They are alcohol pens, so the benefit of alcohol pens means that the liquid aspect of the marker evaporates pretty much on touch. Okay, so you can, you know, it's there forever, and you can colour over and over and over. So if I just get the thinner portion out, if I was to just go over that over and over and over and over, it does not pill the paper. So pilling is what happens when you have a marker pen that's liquid, water-based, and if you were to colour over and over and over, eventually the paper would start to disintegrate and you'd end up with a bit of a mess. So with alcohol pens, this doesn't happen. And you can, I don't know if you can see in the video, but this petal here is going slightly darker because I'm going over and over and over it with this exactly the same pen, but more layers. And you can see that I'm getting some more shading in there. Okay. So then Stampin' Up make it so easy to blend, because what they do is they sell their markers in pairs. So we've got light Daffodil Delight here and we've got dark Daffodil Delight there. So if I start adding this extra darker shade now, you can see how that is creating so much more depth. Now if you're a bit scared of understanding where do I put the depth, where do I put the dark bits, let the image dictate it to you. So where Stampin' Up's amazing artists have already put some shade lines, go with that. Go with where the shade lines are. So you can see where anywhere that there's a line here, I'm putting some darker colour. Okay. So then you can get it darker, but can you see that you can't achieve that level of darkness with the light Daffodil Delight. You do need to go in there with the dark one. you get a bit of a change, you know, that's the change there at that point there, but you see how this area is darker. You could not achieve that by just going over and over and over with that. I don't believe anyway. So to blend the darker portion in, I'm now just going over with my lighter Daffodil Delight, and so that I don't end up with these kind of streak effects, I want to blend the darker colour in to the areas that I've just gone over. I hope that makes sense. Please do ask me if that doesn't make sense. Okay, so we end up with that really nice blended effect there. So here is the one that I first coloured in, no blending, just light Daffodil Delight. Here's the one that I then went over and over a little bit with my light Daffodil Delight, and then the dark. And this is the one that with the dark Daffodil Delight, and then I've blended it in with the lighter. So if you want to make this even darker here, you can just go back in with the dark Daffodil Delight and add some more shading. And you can see that that's really starting to build up now. And I don't like the streaks, so that's why I'm going back in and using the lighter version just to take the streaks out. All right, thank you, Kay. Glad you enjoyed the bookmark. So nice quick ones to do. Hi, Anne-Marie. I'm just going back in there. Right, I do want to explain and demonstrate how the markers kind of work in terms of how they blend and what you can then do with the colour lifter. So we have a marker pen that's called the colour lifter. Now it's got a white top. Now that doesn't mean that when you colour with it, it will colour anything white. That's not how it works. And I would say that the way to think about the colour lifter is rather like a colour pusher rather than a lifter. So there are a couple of benefits of the colour lifter pusher. I want to scrub that out and put pusher so that you understand the actual process. And one is that if you make a little bit of a boo-boo, if you go over the line, and now this can happen because if you are getting quite vigorous colouring in, remember you are applying more and more ink to your page, and what can happen is it can bleed further out from your line than you intended. That can happen sometimes. So I don't know if you can see that there. So what you can do then is go in with your colour. I'm just going to turn that around to make it easier for me to colour. You can go in with your colour pusher and apply alcohol from this side. And what that's doing is pushing the ink back to where it needs to go and also into the paper. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to see it, actually visually see it. Yes, we can. So on the back side, you can see that this is where the point that I made my mistake. My grey line is here, and that's the yellow that I overlapped. Now it hasn't, the colour lifter doesn't remove colour. All it does is pushes it into the paper a little bit more. Hi, Louisa, that's fine. Okay, I'm just demonstrating the whole thing with the colour lifter and so on. So to make that a little bit more clear to you, I'm just going to use I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here. So let me just do a little demonstration. So say I get that as a mistake. I get my colour pusher. I know it's called lifter, but I'm going to call it pusher so that I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get rid of it completely, but I'm going to give it a good go. Okay, so I'm going over and over and over and over. And yes, it looks like magic that it's disappeared, but look what's happened. All it's done is pushed it through to the other side. All right. So So this is, I'm just explaining that so that you understand kind of the science of what is happening when you use the white. All right, so understanding that hopefully helps you to understand how this works. Now you can create some really fun techniques with the colour lifter stroke pusher. So I don't know, let's just do a bit of this, get some colour on, and then I know you might decide, oops, I'm just losing a lid. You might decide, oh, I want some white polka dots on this. So you just go, ooh. Okay. And slowly you'll start to see it appear. You can see the little lighter versions, lighter dots appearing. Now, of course, it's not really going to go back to white. However, you can see the effect that the colour lifter stroke pusher has on the ink. All right, so you with me so far? Those of you who've just joined, you're going to have to watch the replay just to follow along my thought process. But do watch, and we'll move on ahead. So with that in mind, the white is more like a pusher than a lifter. You can also approach other colours in exactly the same way. So for example, if we've got a lighter green against a darker green. Now I say this, I haven't actually tested this out, but I believe that this will happen. Oh dear, look at that. I've really damaged that nib, haven't I? Oops. Okay, so that is dark Call Me Clover. So this is light mint macaron. And can you see what's happening there? Can you see that? Okay. So the light light mint macaron is behaving like the white colour lifter pusher. Yeah? So now you understand that, hopefully it will make sense as to how these things blend together and why it's kind of a bit of it's a bit like alchemy. You have to do a bit of it, or cooking really. It's like you add a bit of this and then add a bit of that and a bit of this, and actually just kind of play with it until you figure out how the colours work together. So what's really then magical is then when you start perhaps using colours that you wouldn't normally sit next to each other and start blending those. I'm not going to do that just yet though. What I want to do is perhaps just demonstrate maybe a slightly more ombre effect with some of the markers. So let's go for, this is dark, oh no it's not, it's light peacock. Oh well, never mind. We'll go in here with a light peacock. And I want to try and create a lovely ombre effect. I don't know, mixing it down to maybe a mint macaron. Let's see if that can work. So I'm just going to pop the light peacock there and a bit dark around this point here. Is the dark peacock? Yep. So as I said, because I'm pushing the colour, because by putting extra layers, you're kind of risking the bleeding aspect. I'm kind of working slightly away from my line because I know that the colour is going to naturally want to gravitate. So I'm just very carefully going around there in order not to let it bleed too much. So there we go. You can oh no, sorry, you can't see a thing. Sorry guys. There we go. Sorry. You can see the definite difference between the light and the dark there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of the light, and then around this area here where they meet, I'm just going to go over and over to help blend that in a bit more. And then around here as well. Okay. Is that okay? Can you see that? Right, I'm intrigued to see if mint macaron, hold on, where's my mint macaron? I've got a light mint macaron there. What have I got? Dark soft sea foam, dark pool party. No, don't want that. Oh, here we go. Dark mint macaron. I'm wondering if I can make this. Oops, sorry. Get the camera in. If we can make these blend together nicely. So this is dark mint macaron. And I'm just seeing if that will work. You almost need to kind of like track it right back to make it blend nicely. But look at that. That does work. And now this is the light mint macaron. Now, the person I was talking to this morning was saying that they weren't sure whether you start with the light, then go to the dark, and then the dark go to the light. I would be hesitant to tell you that there's a definite rule to this. I think you've got to just play with it and figure it out for yourself how you like using the marker pens. It might be that you just think, actually, I just want to get a base colour down first, then I'll work my way. So look, this, I'm doing it the opposite way now. I'm doing light and then going into dark. And see what happens. And then I would go back then just to do a bit of blending so that we end up without that kind of streak effect. So that was the dark mint macaron, and now I'm going back with the light to blend that out as well. Now, if I wanted to have a little bit of fun now, I can go in with my light mint macaron and maybe add some detail to the dark peacock here. And see what happens. It's just starting to appear now. Okay, you see that? You all there? Are you all still with me? You haven't fallen asleep just yet. Okay, so that's going sort of tone, ombre, colour to colour, sorry, shade to shade within the same colour family. Now what I want to do is show you how you can mix colours between families. So let's get another butterfly there. And let's do some yellow to blue. Okay, and I'll just show you what happens there. So here I have dark pool party. Oh, bit of a messed up lid. Sorry, not lid, tip. So I'm just going to use the fine tip. So the markers are not designed to last forever. They are what Stampin' Up call a consumable. They don't expect you to just kind of keep these forever and ever and ever. Once you use the ink up, it is probably time to get another one. Right, it's just one of those things. Now you can, when you go to discard these, you can pull it apart, take all the nibs out and recycle the plastic. Just put it in your anywhere that recycles the sort of hard plastics. We'll recycle these. Oh, that's a really good point, Jenny. So Jenny's saying that with different papers, you get different results. I tend to generally only use Stampin' Up's white paper. Now, this is not the thick stuff. This is actually, I don't think it is anyway, I'm just feeling it. I don't think this is the thinner stuff. So, right, so I'm just laying the light Daffodil Delight down here. I think I might make it meet up there. Make it meet a little bit there. Yeah, I kind of wish they would do refills, but to be honest, my nibs are so busted by the time I get to the end of it that I'm actually quite pleased to get a new. And they'd have to do refill nibs, wouldn't they, as well? Right, so this is Light Pool Party now. So look, watch this. I'm going over the yellow. Okay, can you see that? I've made like a really light green there, very, very limey green by putting the light Daffodil Delight over the yellow. So you can do that, all right? You can go from colour to colour. Let's try it with, ooh, should we try pink to blue? So I've got dark flirty flamingo. Hi Michelle. Light flirty. Is this light flirty? Yep. Just doing a little bit of blending in there, just to reiterate that. Okay. Oh, now I want the pink to go. Actually, no, I shouldn't have done that, but never mind, I've done it now. And then what I want to do is put some of the yellow over the top of there and see what happens. Look at that, how exciting. It's kind of gone a orangey, apricot-y kind of colour. Very subtle, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Then you can always go in with, so this is the dark Daffodil Delight now, I'm just going in with the detail. Just, you know, going with what the design is already there, just filling that in. There's a bit of contrast. And what about bringing that in there as well? There we go. All right. Very, very delicate. Oh, have you, Jenny? Is that on YouTube or Facebook? So Jenny's getting inking with it. So she's done a video about the alcohol markers, using it on Yupo paper, which is a whole different type of paper. I've never used it myself. And, or is it on Periscope, Jenny? Hi Wanda, new phone ordered, and when it gets here I will download the app you were talking about and send you my number to get notified. Oh, fantastic, Wanda, that's great. Right, should we do another one? If you want to shout out some odd colour combination, not an odd colour combination, but you know what I mean? If you want to see me blend a couple of colours together, just shout out a colour. Hopefully I've got the marker pens. If not, I'll choose something similar. Hi Levine. Oh, you've got Spectrum Noir. Okay. That's fair enough. Levine's a bit of a colourist, aren't you, Levine? You love colouring. She does amazing cards with various characters. You're a bit of a fan of the Magnolia, aren't you? And the Gorgeous and all those. Actually, it might be nice to stamp. I've got some Magnolia stamps. Shh. A little bit of contraband. But I do occasionally like showing how Stampin' Up products can be used alongside other stamps. To be honest, I don't even know if these are available anymore. These are so old. This is my favourite. Little girl. Look at her. Look how old and battered she is. Let's see if I can stamp her. Jenny, if you want to put the link on here, then do, because I'd be interested to see the effect on Yupo. Now, I always had that problem with this stamp. This bit wants to... Ah, dear. That's better. Right, has anyone got some favourite colours they want me to use? Granny apple green to soft sea foam. Oh, yes, that would work. Yeah, that would definitely work. Isn't she a cutie? I know some people get a bit freaked out with like the lack of features, but I quite like them. Should we go sort of purple to pink and see what happens? What we've got here. Dark purple posy. Light purple posy. Got light flirty. Could even go pink to yellow. Let's see if that works. Oh, Levine, they're very old stamps. I very rarely use them, to be quite honest. Oh, balmy blue. Okay, let's get a bit of balmy blue in there. Oh, I don't have it, but Seaside Spray. Got Seaside Spray. Okay, so let's get a bit of balmy, not balmy, Seaside down here. Okay, so I'm going to leave dark out, purple posy out, and just go straight into the light. Hi, Vanessa. So this is now light purple posy. I'm just blending that in a little bit there. Then light flirty. What have I just used? Oh, purple posy. That is weird. That is looking very pink, isn't it? Maybe it's just because I've not seen it for a little while. So this is now light flirty. Just going back in with the light purple posy. Oh, I don't think I have petal pink. Not in the alcohol pen, Martina. I I tend to do my skin tone slightly on the browner side, to be honest. Oh, look at that. That's like a rainbow effect, isn't it? That's really quite sweet. Okay, so I'm going into yellow for her top, but then I'm thinking I might come in here with the light mango melody just underneath the flowers to give it a bit of shadow. So anywhere that you've got things that might cause a shadow, just do a shade darker underneath them. And to be honest, if you look oh, sorry, you can't see that from where you are. Oh, sorry. There we go. So here where you've got flowers, there is a little bit of shading already on the stamp. So I'm just going to take that up. And then just do that around there. And then just underneath there. And the crease of the arm as well. Okay, and also this where the stems are falling, that would be in shadow as well. I was thinking of going quite limey green with the oh, actually no, I've got pineapple punch here, so I could do a bit of pineapple punch for the flowers, but also I'm going to add a little bit of granny apple green, I think, just to their centres, and then maybe go back to the blues and the purples for her little wings to bring it all back together again. Hello, Christine. We're just doing a little bit of a few little green centres, and then just doing a few little dots here and there just to fill in the space. I'm not going to do too much blending at this point now. There we go. And then come back in with the Seaside Spray just to do the wings. And then the purple posy again to blend that out. Might be able to sneak a bit of the pink in there as well. Yeah, they just works in a slightly different way, Martina, but if you can get the same results, then you know, it's just another kind of way of colouring, really. And I think because, oh no, what am I doing? I don't want the purple, I want it blue. Because graphic designers' tools are becoming a little bit more readily available, and also I think the whole graphic design industry has realised that everyday people who just like to be good at colouring want to use the same good quality products. I think alcohol markers have kind of made a bit of a resurgence, and so paper crafting companies are realising that their customers want these products to use. You know, they want to achieve good results, you know, so they're making them available more. So, you know, they were unheard of 20 years ago, and then the graphic design, you know, industry kind of picked up on them, and now we do too. Okay, so Stampin' Up's skin tone range, it's not called a skin tone range, but I will talk you through what I think works. They've got ivory, I know I've got 2 there. It's because I mistakenly ordered 2 the other day. They have ivory and bronze, which are their two options. 2 of the options, sorry, let me rephrase that. 2 of the options for creating skin tone. They're not your only options, so I'm coming on to that. We also have crumb cake, which is back here. We have dark and light crumb cake. So I think these can all be used in various ways for creating skin tones. And then we also have dark soft suede, and then also light soft suede in there as well. Now, occasionally you may feel that you want to use something like light pumpkin pie, because that's a kind of a slightly peachier tone. Please don't ever, unless your character is sunburnt, use pink. It's one of my little bugbears, that in schools children are given pink paint to paint themselves, especially in the West. Poor little Caucasian children think they're pink when they're not. And also it's my little personal campaign to make sure that all schools have lots of different colour skin tone paint for children to be able to figure out what colour they truly are, and to be able to reflect themselves in their paintings. So that's why I'm quite passionate that we understand all the different ranges, because, you know, God has made us wonderfully colourful people as a human race, and I think it's lovely to be able to reflect that in our artwork. So I tend to try, because I mean I've been in the sun a little bit, so I'm a little bit browner at the moment, but we'll have a little play with I think light crumb cake as a bit of a base, and then go from there. Do you put a scrap piece of paper under the card you're colouring on to absorb the excess ink, and it aids better blending apparently? I mean, I do have a scrap piece underneath. It hasn't reached it. It's contained there. Yeah, I've not heard of that before, that it aids blending, but don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with crumb cake. Now, as I said, this is not a Stampin' Up stamp. This is a different company, and they are quite well known for kind of featureless faces. However, you can then put your own, a little bit of, if you want to put a bit of extra shading in there to create your own. And also where the flowers are would cause a little bit of a shadow. And then if you think she might have little peachy, pinky cheeks, there are little dots here to denote that. That's actually quite a little bit dark, but I can always go over with my light crumb cake and just soften it, push it down, and there you have a little peachy cheeks. Oh, and I've got to remember the ribbon. Little ribbon. There we go. Oh, and then the other thing to remember is that when you're colouring in something like this that's just a figure, to try and make sure to do something to ground them. So you may have it that they're standing on grass. That's, you know, perfectly acceptable. Let's just do that. Just pop a bit of grass in there, and then a bit of the lighter. So that's dark Granny apple green, and then just going to pop a bit of the lighter in there. There we go. Don't forget her hand. Oh, you're quite right. Yes, don't forget her hand. Oh dear, Martina, have I converted you to markers now? There we go. Right, then the other thing was to put a little bit of a shadow around them. So I find using, what have I got here? Light Seaside Spray. We'll use this for the sake of ease. to put a little kind of bit of a shadow around what you've coloured, so that they don't look like they're just been put there as an afterthought. You can create a nice bit of shadow around them. And you find that a little bit too stark, it will go down a little bit. If you find that a little bit too stark, of course you can go in with your colour pusher, stroke lifter, and just soften the edges a little bit more if you want to with the colour lifter there. I think I might need to get another one of these. Yeah, I think like any skill, it just takes time to practice. Don't expect to be an expert in the first 5 minutes. I think that's the danger particularly in this day and age. You know, everyone can become an expert in 5 minutes on Google. They think they know everything about anything, you know, just by doing a bit of a Google search, and that's not the case for anything that involves your body and a craft and art, you know. However, you can enjoy the process of doing it. So there we go. The shadow makes a real difference. You wouldn't have thought of that. Ah, there we go. Ah, glad to have encouraged you to do that one. Yeah. Hi, Nadia. Great to see you. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you. Yeah. Right, there we go. So that's my little tutorial for today about the blends. If you've got any questions, please do shout out now. I'll just do a quick recap about about it. So there's just sort of tone on tone. So Stampin' Up sell most of their colours in dual packages as from the 3rd of June. At the moment you can buy them individually. So if you think, oh, I'm going to use one, you know, like a lighter, I must say I ran out of light Pool Party before the dark. It might be worth stocking up on an extra one. I think I have. Like I've stocked up on like Daffodil Delight, an extra one of those. So you can blend from dark to light, which is super handy. Then you can blend from other colour to colour. So Pool Party to Bermuda Bay makes a really good transition. So by having dark Bermuda Bay, light Bermuda Bay, dark Pool Party, light Pool Party, you end up with this great transition of shading. So this was light mint macaron to dark pretty peacock. Then you can experiment with mixing colours. So this is mixing Pool Party with yellow. And look, we've created this beautiful kind of greeny colour. And then we mixed Flirty Flamingo with Daffodil Delight, light Daffodil Delight. And we've ended up with that kind of peachy colour in the middle. So have fun doing that. And then here we've just done direct blending from light Purple Posy to, light Seaside Spray to light Purple Posy, light Flirty Flamingo, and then yellow over the top to create this kind of orangey colour here. So this orangey colour doesn't exist. We've created it. And then there we go. We've got shadowing all around. So go and have fun, or have a think about whether or not you've got stamps that would benefit from the blends. And please do remember you can shop with me, artfulstampin.co.uk. Click on the shop. I've just updated my shop button to make it easier to use. We've just had the announcement that the European countries' websites are going to be updated. So I know one of you had an issue with the new British update, and basically Europe is coming in line with the UK website. So things hopefully will be a bit smoother for you guys. What's the other thing I wanted to say? If you're thinking, if you're thinking of putting in a kind of a big order and doing a bit of an investment in your hobby, then do give me a ring about becoming a demonstrator, because there are ways in which you can save money by becoming a demonstrator. And so if you're, you know, thinking of, you know, even if you bought, I don't know, the blends are £4.50 each, so you can do the math. No, £4.25 each, so you can do the maths. And they are on par with the cost of other Copic markers or other alcohol pens. But obviously, if you join up, you will get a discount. Sorry, what's the comment about the? I think it prevents bleeding too, according to another leading manufacturer. Oh, about putting something underneath. Yeah, I don't know, Christine. I've never tried it without putting something underneath. Yeah, I mean yeah. I suppose I always put something underneath just in case, because I don't want to have alcohol on my table. But to be honest, I've got a mat, then I've got some wallpaper, then I've got 1, 2, 3 layers of grid paper before I've got my table. So, sorry, my thing that I'm colouring in. So I tend to virtually always have something underneath anyway, so I wouldn't know what it's like without. Thank you, Gina. Yes, have a great day, everybody. I can't wait until June. They can order the new colours. Yes, the new colours the new catalogue will have they're not stocking all the colours in the new colours. They're not stocking Bumblebee, because I think it's too close to Crush Curry for them to even want to think about doing a Bumblebee colour. So the Just Jade, Midnight, what's it called? Midnight Moonlight. What's it? I'm terrible. I know there's Magenta Madness. I've remembered that one. I'm just looking it up. Bear with. I'll have to remember it by the 3rd of June, won't I? When it all comes out. Oh, dearie me. Oh, trying to find the section now. Bet you told me now. Thank you, Kay. Misty Moonlight. Oh, Misty Moonlight, Misty Moonlight, Misty Moonlight. I've got to say it over and over and over and over and over again. Yes, I used a lot of Real Red with I got the cardinal set last, and I will need at least 2 more light Real Red. I only got about 8 cards with one. But what? Only 8 cards? How many cardinals did you stamp, Wanda? Sometimes it's worth, if you've... Yeah, you might just have to wait for the colour to run down sometimes. Always store them flat if possible, unless you're reaching the end of its life and you want to maybe try and get the ink to go down. Like these are coming to the end of their life, so I should have these stored this way up, because that's the nib I tend to use most often. Also, we have some great storage. I'm just going to show off the storage. I bought 3 of the... excuse my tape. This is just so that they don't fall apart when I'm moving them. They're not really designed to be moved, but I've just taped them with tape so that if I do move them, they don't fall apart. I bought 3 sets, so I've got plenty of storage. Oh, mind you, they're all on my table now, so I've got to sort it out. I have seen some clever demonstrator has, what she's done is put little stickers on the top here and written the initials of the colours to make it easier to figure out what they are. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. I don't know if I've got any little small stickers, but with the bullet tip, the ink releases slower and the brush tip hits faster. There we go. So yeah, you might just need to, colour for a bit and then put it away and then, do some more another night. I'm just going to flip the camera. My flippity flu. There's my flippity roo. Hello, everybody. You're a qualified alcohol marker colourist, but it's too competitive. Now, what's competitive, Christine? Is that with Copic then? Did you do your certification with them? How does that work? Do they just do it like a correspondence course or something? Or like, is it videos online, or how does that work? I've always wondered. because I've seen it on people's blogs. They'll say, oh, I'm a Copic certified, whatever. And does that mean you can teach it? Is that what the idea is with that? I'm just wiping my glasses. Just realised what a fuzz my hair is at the moment. There we go. Never mind. Keeping it real, guys. Keeping it real. Just use a CD marker to write with. Oh, you know what? I could probably write with the black pen onto these. Let's have a look. Which one's this one? Light pumpkin pie. So if I put LP, do you think that will make sense? What if I could fit LPP? I'm not sure if you can read it. What's that? Wendy. What's Wendy confirming? I can't see what she's saying. It won't blend as well if nothing underneath. There we go. I've never tried it out, so I suppose I've always blended well. Just by accident. But thank you for explaining the science behind, well, explaining what I should do. Light Call Me Clover. I think I'm just going to have to put CC. C. What, CMC, isn't it? Yo, LPP, yeah, you know me, LPP. Sorry, that's what I thought of when I just wrote that. I definitely want to get labels for my the sides, because I'm always going, what's that say? Maybe we should tell Stampin' Up, do bigger labels. But they've got so much information to have to put on the blend, like warning, choking hazard. And they've got it in all the different languages. Then it's got where it's made, and then the fact it conforms to some standard. Then it's got the barcode. Then it says Stampin' Blends. Then it's got the 4 languages. I don't think there's any more space for anything else. So I think I'll have to do my own little labels. You gave all your colours numbers. Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Martina. Yeah, but that's just for the sake of putting them in my caddy thing. I could do a blend chart. What, and do numbers as well? I don't know if I can be bothered. Exactly what I've been saying, Wendy March. I've been saying that all this session. It's a pusher, not a lifter. I've renamed it. So I'm obviously not the only person to rename it. You've done it as well. Yep, it's a colour pusher. Anyone want my blender pen? I'm a colour pusher now. I'll give it to you for £5. Yeah, it's when I'm looking at them on my what's it, Midjag? Sometimes it's difficult to tell, especially when the colours like become quite similar, look quite similar. So it's all right, I'll get over it. It's just a small issue. I try and put them on my shelf in colour kind of ombre so that I know roughly what's what. So I've got black to grey to white. So I've got the shading on the first floor, as it were. First floor or ground floor. Light smoky slate. So I've got dark, black, dark smoky slate, then oh, I have 2 light smoky slate. Right, I'm gonna go, guys. I've got to go and cook my tea. Oh, didn't realise what time it was. So it's a mover and a shaker. I will probably see you guys later. I'm going to do One Sheet Wonder later and try and break it down into some simple steps to try and demystify it a little bit. So chicken scratchers, tiny circles with the letters on the... That's where I saw it, I think. Okay. Yeah. Are they like white little stickers? I think if I had stickers and just did it in a fine pen, like a fine marker pen, drawing pen, then it would look good. Thumbs up for Ruth. Thank you, Wanda. You're awesome. Take care, guys. See you later. So long, farewell. Bye.